They hear and they obey. And some people, after they get a strike, and then they internalize. The learning has a process, steps.
You can,
So
you can prolong your research in every field. It's okay. It doesn't. There is no restriction in the Quran on that. Okay, you must understand. Scientific research is always being recommended. Even Allah says, why don't you research on that? Why don't you think about that? About the creation. You just do some research about my creation.
Yeah, because I think, Terry, I don't know what your next question would be, but maybe your next question would be that, okay, if in Islam you need to have the 5 senses to convince yourself, then no one has seen God, no one has tasted God, no one has seen God, so therefore God does not exist. But we do not, in Islam, we do not necessarily need to have the 5 senses, because applying that same logic, I would argue that you do not have a great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. Do you believe you have a great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother?
I never met my
Yeah, that is right.
But do you believe that you have a great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother?
from my father's generation.
Just like you were saying, call the
Actually,
the presence of yourself justifies the existence of your great-great-great-great-grandmother. But you haven't seen her, you haven't smelled her, you haven't, of course you wouldn't taste a human being, you haven't tasted her, you haven't heard her, but this doesn't mean that God doesn't exist, because you haven't simply seen God, using that same logic. So I think, just to make this point, is that you do not necessarily need to equip your 5 senses to believe that there is God or to believe in something. There are certain signs, scientific miracles, or certain things that would bring you or convince you. So you do not necessarily need to utilize the 5 senses to believe that there is God or no God.
Can I put your question in the other way? That means that all the religions will be taught to believe blindly. So is it your?
No,
so you want to know whether Islam is also the same like this?
No. It's not particularly about the Islamic belief, but it's about to believe or convince to believe. And if to believe, what is the point to convince myself to believe?
Right.
Should it be the 5 senses?
You know, actually, there's a very interesting study that we heard a few months ago. That there's actually a study on the brain. And it turns out that we are wired to believe. We are actually, according to the hadith of the fitra, that means everybody is born with a sense of being a Muslim or believing in the Creator. That they actually proved in the scientific study that our brain has a gene, a God gene factor.
I've read that,
Yeah. So that actually we are actually programmed or wired, whatever the terms we use now, to believe. And our problem is that, of course, God has given us the ability to choose. So that is within our characteristic, that we doubt, we want to do this, maybe not do this. We have that. It's that given to us.
Struggle will always going on. Either this one is right, that one is right. The life is go on with the struggle, either to choose this one or to choose that one. So this is already.
Just give you one example. Actually, Allah says in the Quran, it says, if you want to know more about Him, just go around to look at the nature.
Siru fil ard, the Quran says, just go around the world.
Then you can understand for sure there is a God. But whether you believe this is the God you believe or the other God, you can simply, like for example, you just go out to find one tree. There's no one live in the same tree are same. They are alike. Every leaf are leaves, right? But you can never find 2 leaves are exactly the same.
Even the human beings?
Yes. So we all have eyes, nose, mouth, right? But when we put everything together, even the twins, there's still a little bit different. This is the power of Allah.
DNA code.
If you want to reflect what is the medicine once we have these kind of doubts, is there any solution? So up to us the instruction is that at that time we will seek refuge to Allah, to the Creator, from the devil, from the ill effect of devil. So whenever our doubts comes or bad things come, then we can say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Arabic, which is basically means I seek refuge from him, to Allah from the devil. This kind of, so you can seek help so that this doubt goes away.
In this way, I have a very simple, my understanding that we should not judge and put, science as a scale to judge the oneness of God or the Islam, because the Islam or the Quran actually is not a book of science. If you see that it's for just giving some empirical formulas or some formulas of physics, chemistry or value, no. The Quran says, Alif Lam Mim Zalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fi. This is the book which has no doubt, and this is the book of guidance. This is not the book of some science. But there are scientific knowledge well explained in this book. I just made this because when I was a middle school student, we were taught that atom is the smallest particle in this world. But when we gone up to the higher classes in the college or the university, then we were taught, no, atom is not the smallest particle in the world. Then the science has improved. It has a nucleus in the middle. Then it has a neutron, electron, proton, positron, neutron. It's still expanding. So science is not the yardstick to judge or to verify the divine knowledge or the divine guidance. Because science itself, some passage of time, it will negate its previous research. So this is not the measure to judge, because it's the divine knowledge from God, and what Allah has explained in His holy book, that's the final truth, that's the final reality. But of course, we should ponder, we should reflect over this very vast universe, even not the galaxies, but we just see the honeybee, how they communicate and how they can find their way from very far off place. They take the nectar from the flowers and then they just make their honeybee net. And what's the communication process? Who is the creator? We have the raining. How about if the elephants coming down from the sky, what would happen? So there is a very intelligent creator who made all this and put everything in an order with a very systemized and organized system. And all these things actually lead us to a creator. It doesn't need, maybe sometimes some people need the scientific phenomena behind. Okay, we can talk with them, but these kind of beauties are the attributes of Allah in this world. They will all lead you that there is a creator. You give it any name, you can, and that will satisfy your inner self needs. And then
can I believe without being able to explain?
Yes.
your inner self will explain. You might not have the lack of words, but your inner self will satisfy you that there is a creator. If this universe cannot have without, even this, you write a piece of word, for example, like a paragraph. But these paragraph, is this just random or this some organized? It conveys some meaning. It's you, I write some script or some draft. It should be the line, the subject, the predicate, the object, everything. It should be in order. Being a human being, you can. But how about the creator, who is the creator of all the creation? He made all this in a very organized form.
Actually, as a Muslim, we realize that there is a limit to our intelligence, that there is no way. In fact, in our society, we rely on other people for certain things that we don't know anything about. And there's a certain kind of belief that this person, he's a teacher. He's sure to give me, information, right? But I can't, there's no way I know everything about anything. So there's a level of limit that we have as people. And of course, that is why we have, we have a religion, and we have customs and traditions, because that's how we function as human beings. So there definitely will be a certain belief that you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you believe the Prophet Muhammad is the last messenger. But you can't totally explain everything. Nobody can. Not even the best scholars of Islam or anybody would be able to completely explain everything. And that is part of our belief that we cannot, there's no way we can completely comprehend the Creator. That's part of our Tawheed actually.